anything that, as far as getting games played and teams coming back to sort of quarantine, any structure from the NBL that's been advised yet?
No, we don't know. We're still waiting. And I think everyone here involved with the team is just kind of over it. So we're trying to focus on the games and let other people with that are more important than us figure that out. And when they're ready to tell us, they can. But we haven't heard anything as a team, no.
And just as far as the health of the group goes, Vic spoke the other day. He said he's probably not quite 100% yet after sort of that bout of COVID went through. How's the remainder of the team feeling?
Everyone seems pretty good to me. I mean, practices have been good. We had a pretty good effort in the game the other day after a rough start, which I don't think has anything to do with COVID, because we were getting bad starts before COVID hit. So no, I think everyone, knock on wood, everyone's seems to be in pretty good shape, and those guys need to stop saying that stuff because it's not helping the viewpoint of COVID back in WA, because I think there's a lot of fear back there, and our guys saying they're still dragging when they're throwing down windmill dunks isn't the best way to do it.
Is this an opportunity, do you think, facing the Hawks again to get off to a better start? And if so, what sort of been the practice to be able to get them firing a little bit earlier?
Well, to be honest, I kind of put it on the team this week. I've tried a few things. I'm no genius or anything like that, but there's only so much you can do. I mean, you want to play your best guys, and they've proven time and again that they are our best guys, but for whatever reason, they're not starting with the urgency they need to. So there's no sense, tiptoeing around it. It's definitely an issue, and it's going to come back to haunt us if it hasn't already. And we need to get it fixed. So I kind of put it on them, and they seem to agree that they can work on it and fix it. And at least this week, playing the same team that we've already played recently, there's going to be no surprises. I can understand sometimes when you show film of Illawarra's transition attack where they're really fast and athletic, but you don't really grasp it on TV until you're out there playing and they can catch you off guard. So I think that had a little bit to do with it. But again, these guys have been around a long time. They know better than to underestimate any of our opponents. I don't think they did that, but at the same time, you couldn't really replicate what we were going to see on film until you get out there and see it for yourself.
Just last one from me. Todd Blanchfield, impressive coming back in. It didn't really look like he'd had any sort of downtime at all. How's he pulled up after the game?
Pretty good, I think. We sat down and watched film yesterday. Today is a very light day, so I think most of the guys took today off just because we're traveling. But we had 2 good sessions this week that Todd participated in fully, and yeah, it's great to have him back because he's. I think he's known as a shooter, which he is, and he has been shooting the ball well, but he's also been getting into the paint and attacking and creating some shots for others. So it's been great to have him back. Makes the planning of the rotation a little more difficult with this many guys healthy. We're not used to having almost a full team, but I'll take that problem over the alternative.
Cheers. I'll let someone else go. Thanks.
Scott, when you talk about the starts, you've had rotations in your starting 5 by necessity for most of the season. Do you feel that that's impacting upon the starters' ability to really gel and understand where each other are going to go and how they're going to play?
Maybe, but I don't really think so. I mean, I'd like to change the practice teams up when we train every day, just so guys get a chance to play with everybody else. We've had now 8 games plus 5 blitz games where most of those guys at least were healthy. With the possible exception of Mitch and Haji missed a few. We put Haji in the lineup to try and add a little boost of energy. Not that Juk hadn't been playing well, but we thought Haji could go out there and provide a little extra energy, and maybe he'd be excited to get a start. And I think he did provide some good energy, but obviously that wasn't the answer either. So, like I said, I think I just put it on the guys. Like, hey, this is what it is. You guys know better. You're better than this. You prove it during the rest of the game. So let's get off to a good start and fix this. And so I'm not answering all the questions about it next week.
And you mentioned post-game that it feels a bit like half-time, given you're playing them twice in the matter of a couple of days. How do you approach that mindset with the we've won one, but we want to call it halftime as well. Like, is it a different way of approaching a game?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like playoffs. You both teams go back to their corners and figure out what adjustments are going to be made. I think, if I'm being honest, my opinion is the team who lost the first game has a slight advantage because they have a chance to make adjustments based on what they see, and the winning team is kind of just guessing what they're going to do. So we have to be at our best and try and improve some things that we didn't see that we did our best in the first game, and hope that we can kind of have a fresh start and take home 2 wins.
And you also briefly touched on Michael Frazier the other day and the role that he's playing and how he's adjusting to probably a different role to what he would have in the past. Can you speak a bit more about what you're asking from him and the way he's slotting into that role?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Mike yesterday. I told him how I thought he played really well against Illawarra, and when it depends how you look at it. I guess when he was in the NBA, he had a lot smaller role. When he played college or the G League, I'm sure he had a bit bigger role in terms of how many plays were being called for him. With Bryce out there, he's not going to get as many plays called for him. But if we're playing the right way, we're going to be moving the ball, making the right pass. Everyone's going to touch it. And someone like Bryce on your team can really be an advantage for the other guys. I think Todd's seeing that playing with Bryce and Vic. He's getting, the third or fourth defender on him, and he can sometimes exploit that. So as long as we all play the right way, everyone's going to eat. And Mike's done a great job defensively. I thought his defense has made a big impact. His rebounding has made a big impact, and he's had 9 assists in the last 2 games. So I told him just keep doing what he's doing. And he's always made it quite clear that he came here to help the team win, and that's also what he's doing right now.
Yeah, just quickly, Scott, how important is this weekend in terms of you've got the Hawks who you've already played and beat on Saturday, but who I think are 4th on the ladder, and then you've got the Kings, and if you beat them, you'll be at least level with Melbourne. How important is this weekend in sort of the launch pad of the next part of the season?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be sarcastic when I say it, but every game counts as one, and we're just trying to stack as many ones up as we can. So from that standpoint, it's really important. But I guess not any more important than any of the other games. We're trying to win them all, and I'm sure we're not going to win them all. We've already obviously lost 2, but if we approach every game like it's the utmost importance, then hopefully we'll take care of business enough times to get over the hump and make the finals. It's a long season. Like, I feel like I was late getting here. I feel like I've been here a long time, and we're only 8 games in. So it's really hard, but you really just got to take it one game at a time. And if anything, just being stuck here, not that there's a lot of people in the world that have it worse off than us right now, but at the same time, it's not what you plan for or wish for. But if you can get those wins, it makes life a little bit more bearable, and the overall vibe is a little bit more positive. If you lose, that's a long stretch. It at least feels like a long stretch before you get another chance to get a crack at them. And that's what we learned after the Adelaide game. So I was glad we got the win last week. And for all those reasons, yes, you're right. These are big games coming up.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time you guys have played sort of 2 games in 3 or 4 days since you've had that prolonged break. What kind of challenge does that provide for the players who are like Vic saying he may be struggling a bit, and you're saying don't say that, but what does it mean for them to get a couple of games back to back under the belt?
I'm not too worried about that. I think we're planning to take a full day off after the Illawarra game to make sure the guys get rested, hopefully get some sun in a part of the country that the sun comes out, and just get a chance to recharge. So from that standpoint, I think it'll be nice because we've always been traveling or flying on our days off, and it'll be kind of nice to get a day off where we don't have to move around. So I don't expect any ill effects from the game. Again, knock on wood, there's no injuries, but in terms of just reloading and getting recharged, I think we'll be straight. A little bit of a disadvantage maybe on the scouting side because Sydney has a chance to scout us all week, but we'll have to really focus on them after this next game. But as I always say to the guys, coaching is a very small percentage of what we're doing here and what it takes to win. So we'll be on our games and get the guys a crash course in Sydney. And I'm sure they've also been watching all their games because, there's not much else to do except watch the other games in the league. So we're pretty excited when there's a game on.